We spent a long time building relationships with farmers, and I think you can find from the visits we've done recently, it's often the small things that are contributing to diffuse pollution in the catchments.
Farmers are the ones out in the field carrying out the work, and we try and work with them as best as we can to keep the waters in the good of places possible.
We always try and contact farmers by telephone first, and then we'll send them a letter. Sometimes we're unable to contact them, so we will just send a letter out directly and ask them to give us a call prior to the visit.
Morning, Steve. I'm Karen from the Environment Agency, and there's my identity there for you.
Before and after our farm inspections, we thoroughly clean our boats and disinfect them to ensure there is no biosecurity risk to the farm or the environment.
Karen Price from the Environment Agency, to show you my ID.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, if we could go in the kitchen first and go through some of your paperwork.
Nice to meet you. How are you doing?
This is my authorisation card. If I could just get you to fill in the notice of powers and rights. On the back it details my powers and your rights during the inspection. Inspection today is covering the Farm Rules for Water, NVZs and SAFA regulations. So I need to do a few details first, and then we'll move on to the paperwork side, the fun bit there.
Yeah.
I've sometimes had, and I think other farmers say to me about EA inspections is, oh, don't go anywhere near them, don't tell them anything, because they'll just come and shut you down and stop you doing things. But actually today, it hasn't been like that at all. It's been really helpful. All right, there's some things we've got to do, but actually that will help the environment and perhaps help the business in the future.
We'll have a look to see if you've got any slurry, so if you've got lagoons, if you have silage clumps. We look at overland flows and where you would potentially be draining to, and we'll check things like groundwater vulnerability.
Like a step up from the yards
Okay.
to stop anything leaching out from the concrete into the soil.
Yeah.
So like an actual off-cut concrete panel, which should be.
Ultimately, it's about quality of water and monitoring that, and also identifying diffuse pollution.
So we're generally looking to improve the water quality within the catchment and provide help and advice to farmers as well. We are regulators, so of course we have to make sure that they're compliant with the various regulations. And you're quite a mixed farm here then, so you've got a few dairy cows.
We've got dairy, we've got 110 at the minute.
So you've got 110 dairy.
And then
Okay.
there's 90 other stock on the farm as well.
And so what crops do you grow?
Winter wheat, winter barley, spring barley.
Under the silage, slurry and agricultural fuel oil regulations, you are okay with 4 months storage.
Yeah.
That's right on the borderline.
Yeah, it is.
It
Yes.
is. Yeah.
If you happen to be moved into a nitrate vulnerable zone,
It'd be 6 months.
well, it's 5 months for your slurry.
Yeah.
So you are quite tight on that.
Yes.
But you aren't in breach of any regulations. While farmers may be compliant with the slurry storage requirements under SAFO and NVZs, we are now strongly recommending 6 months storage. This is due to the adverse weather conditions we've been experiencing, and also to ensure that farmers are using the valuable nutrients when there is an actual soil and crop need.
The majority of the non-compliances we're finding is incomplete nutrient management plans, missing soil testings and issues with clean and dirty water separation. We encourage farmers to send through as much paperwork as possible ahead of the inspection. This allows us to get a good idea of how the farm runs and reduces the time we spend on farm. The only real thing now to look at is just the fuel tank, and then we'll go and have a look at some of these bits in the fuel tank. Yeah, it's still nice and clean in there. And then what sort of capacity does it hold?
2,500 litres. That drains from behind us, and then beyond this line it drains out just into the field basically. Like the water tank I was just on about is just the other side of here, so that's where we fill from. And we can see where the risk flow lines on the map, and you can see how obvious it looks in the field.
We're looking at making sure that the farmers are compliant with the regulations that we cover. We're also, our main aim is to protect the environment and protect the water courses that surround the farm. What's underneath here then?
There's like
Is this your channel that runs along here?
there's the tanks just through there.
Okay.
And there's a kind of channel
So is your
underneath.
channel blocked then?
Well, it's collapsed here is the problem. This is it runs over the top, so it doesn't run
Right.
anywhere else.
You could send me some photos.
Okay.
So once you've done it all, if you send me some pictures of the work completed,
Right. Yeah.
that would be enough. If you want me to come out and have a look at it, that's no problem at all.
This is the chemical store.
Oh, that's great. That's fully bunded. Smashing.
So can we just have a little look at that part then? And no girls. So the back is a loafing area, and you've put concrete panels to contain the muck from that.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, fab.
And we'll clean
That's
it out
great.
fairly regularly, every week, 10 days or so.
So concrete up to that.
And then
Do you clean out from this side then?
I can clean out, I haven't cleaned out from straight down.
So that would make it difficult. I'm just trying to think how you contain that from spilling into this ground.
Yeah.
Something like a sleeping policeman or something, but would that create a problem for you at this side?
I guess not, no, because I mean the gate opens inwards.
Oh, okay.
So I suppose, yeah, actually, yeah.
Just a concrete,
Yeah, like
just a bit of a concrete bund or something.
When we couldn't get out onto the field, we put it here.
You could contain it on the concrete pad, so you could run a lip along here,
yeah.
and so it's kept on that side.
Yeah.
But you know, if you had a little height, you've only got a limited amount, but it would give you that bit of extra. That it wouldn't all be here then.
Yes.
Would it?
Yeah.
So any rain that runs on here becomes slurry and needs to be collected and stored and treated like slurry.
Right.
So at the moment, it's escaping off your concrete pad onto this ground here
Yeah.
and making its way down there. You know, any rain on it is going to create slurry. So this needs to be removed and perhaps popped into one of your fields as a field.
Yes. Yeah. Well, as I said, we had. It did go a bit further.
Okay, so what's in here?
Fuel.
The problem that you've got is if that comes off or leaks, where is all that fuel from the? It's not electric, is it?
No.
So it's gravity fed.
It's all gravity fed. Mm-hmm.
But if it does leak, it's just going to go. It's just going to go straight over the side, down there. And where's the drains? So natural flow is to just go straight down there.
I think some of your drains up there that you're probably treating as clean water drains aren't quite as clean as what you think they are. It did look like one of the ones that you mentioned got quite a lot of silage.
Yes. Yeah.
In that one drain, hadn't it?
Yeah. Well, walking round with the EA, I think it's that fresh pair of eyes looking at it. You know, we see things every day, and you perhaps don't. You know, you've got a problem here. If you do this, it'll stop the problem, which was fantastic.
Quite a big river or not?
No, it's not a big one. It will flow big in you know, really high flows, high floods. It doesn't flood anywhere. It's cut in a really deep gully. So we're going to have a look at this. This is our worst case scenario. I think it's probably the worst thing we've had in years. So this is caused by obviously water, and it's just created this flow. And just here, where we did this bit of cultivation to drill this, it's a single pass.
So your plan for this area, Ben, is to sow this with a grass cover to ensure soil runoff doesn't occur next year.
The Environment Agency inspectors have been really helpful with offering advice on how to maintain compliance and how to keep our paperwork in line so that it is fit for future years, and also advising on how to keep records of what we're doing in virtue.
Whilst there was no non-compliance observed during the inspection, I was able to put some advice and guidance into the report, which will hopefully reduce the risk of soil runoff in the future years.
So most of the officers that do come out on farm now have an agricultural background, so we can understand things like the farming year, we understand the processes, calving, lambing, harvest, etc. So when we work with farmers for timescales, we are aware of when their busy periods are.
Most of them that I've dealt with have come from farming backgrounds, so they know the runs of what we do, and they're just use a lot of common sense, and we work together and get the good outcomes, hopefully.
Okay, as I've found the issues that we've just discussed on the farm, I am going to give you a site warning for those non-compliances that are found. This will come in the form of your post-inspection letter that you'll get, and it is an official site warning that will be put on that for you.
Yeah.
And if all your actions are met within the deadline, It won't go any further. It'll remain just as a site warning.
Yes.
It'll all be explained on your your form,
On the report,
and all the links we talked about as well will be
that'd
on
be
there.
great, yes,
And
thank
anything
you.
else you want to know,
Yeah.
like I say, don't be a stranger. Give us a call, and we can help
Yeah.
out as best we
Right.
can. Well, I appreciate your time there. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
All
not
the
as
best.
frightening as I thought it was.
Following the farm inspection, farmers will receive an inspection report form. Now, this will clearly detail any actions that are required in order to bring the farm back into compliance, and this will have clear deadlines. When the farmer receives the inspection report form, if there's anything they're unsure of, well, then we encourage them to pick up the phone and give us a call.